Alben of Massachusetts State Police. So I am going to introduce to you Kurt Schwartz, who's the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency Director. We're going to talk about some provisions for transportation and some continued lockdown of the general community here. And then I am going to talk to you again about the why. So I'm going to turn this over to Undersecretary Kurt Schwartz.
Good morning. Thank you. And we are primarily in this press conference speaking to the public, trying to provide guidance as to what the public should be doing and thinking about in the next hours while this situation is fluid. We have conferred with the governor, with the mayor of Alben, with all of the surrounding city public safety officials, and the governor has immediately suspended all public transportation service on the MBTA system, that is buses and subway. So all public transit services through the MBTA have been immediately suspended. We are hoping that as we proceed through the next number of hours that we will be able to turn back on portions of the system, but the system has been shut down now as a safety measure. People that are at subway or subway stations or at bus stops, we are asking them to go home. We do not want people congregating and waiting for the system to come back on. So we are asking people, do not go out to the bus stations, subway stations. If you're there, please go home. We also want to speak to the residents and the public within the town of Watertown and the cities and towns that are abutting Watertown. And to be specific, we are speaking to the residents of Watertown, Newton, Waltham, Belmont, Cambridge, and the Allston-Brighton neighborhoods of Boston. To those people, we are asking you to stay indoors, to stay in your homes for the time being. We are asking businesses in those areas to please cooperate and not open today until we can provide further guidance and information. So again, to repeat, to the residents of Watertown, Newton, Waltham, Belmont, Cambridge, and the Allston-Brighton neighborhoods of Boston, we are asking you to stay home, stay indoors. We are asking businesses not to open. We are asking people not to congregate outside. We're asking people not to go to mass transit. And we are hopeful that as the day proceeds that we can provide further guidance, that we'll be able to open portions of the system and be able to ease these restrictions, but we are imposed that now. We would just ask Chief DeVoe, for the town of Watertown, is there anything in additional you want to announce?
I just want to speak to the community of Watertown. We need your help now. We're asking everybody to shelter in place. No vehicle traffic is going to be allowed to travel in or out of Watertown until further notice. No businesses are going to be allowed to be opened. The Watertown community has always stood strong, and we need them to do that today. Thank you.
Can you clarify?
I want to be clear. No, before we take any questions, I need to be clear about this. This situation is grave. We are here to protect public safety in these neighborhoods here in Watertown right now. I know that there's national media here from all over the country. I know you have a lot of questions about who these folks are, where they're from. There will be plenty of time to deal with that over the ensuing hours. Right now, we've got to deal with this local issue here. So we appreciate your patience. Again, to reiterate what I said earlier, we believe these are the same individuals that were responsible for the bombing on Monday at the Boston Marathon. We believe that they're responsible for the death of an MIT police officer and the shooting of an MBTA police officer. This is a very serious situation that we're dealing with, and we would appreciate your cooperation. We'll do the best that we can to keep you apprised as to how that develops here this morning, but we can't answer every single question about this investigation at this particular point in time. Thank you very much.
We'll be back. We'll let you know as much in advance as possible prior to the next briefing. Thank you.
What time will that be, you think, sir?
We don't know. We'll let you know. We'll give you as much advance warning.
What was the gentleman's name? The guy from
That's the director
Colonel Alben.
of Massachusetts.
No, the guy, the EOPSS guy.
Kurt with a K, K-U-R-T, Schwartz, S-C-H-W-A-R-T-Z.
What's his first name?
One more time, sir.
K-U-R-T. And his
We don't know
position?
the next time yet.
What's his?
The last name?
He's Undersecretary for Public Safety and Director of the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency.
Director of MEMA.
The last name again,
SCHWARTZ.
Thank you.
And then we had Watertown Chief Edward DeVoe, DEVEAU, and State Police Colonel Timothy Alben, ALBEN.
Dana.
Yes, SCHWARTZ.